Good evening and welcome to NXTGEN's Season 17 Power Maxed Group A1s. This is round number 6 from the Nurburgring Nordschleife. See the league sponsored by Power Maxed. Should be one hell of a race to have. This 15.769 mile circuit, 25.378 kilometers as we go through the forests and tricky corners of the old circuit. Obviously very famous for the 1976 season when Niki Lauda suffered his big crash. And we're in the BMW M1 Pro cars, and I've just heard Jack come into the commentary box, so good evening, Jack. This is a car you've never won in.
No, I've never won round in the M1. I never won a race in the Group A1s in the M1 somehow. Well, I know why, but we'll not go there. But I love this car. It's my favourite car in the whole game, and we have a debutant tonight, George. He's not in just yet, but he's about to be.
Have a quick look at the tables. Obviously, it's quite a long outlap, so there's going to be a lot of me talking whilst the guys do qualifying, as Cam 123 does runs a little bit wide as he heads up towards the chicane. But the man on your screen, Cam 123, is the current leader of the pack. He is on 86 points, followed by Jack on 84. Deleuze has 81, and we've heard interesting things about Deleuze in practice. Potential candidate to win this race if all goes well. Full Fish has 72 points, Adam Morris 66, Johnny has 53 with D Whitehouse on 48, Shadowstalker 32, Bob Mark 1 29, Rally Matt on 24, Peter Dar Jamesy has 23 with Big Bloody B 22, Mikey on 19. I don't believe he's here tonight, is he? No.
No, he's not.
Traumatic Dave has 16, Tim 14, Tyler House has vanished off the face of the earth by the scenes of it, he's on 9. Weedas has 7, Cobra 4, and unfortunately GT5 Vass, who's not here tonight either, has not yet scored a point.
Through no fault of his own.
Through no fault of his own, that is for sure. A monster circuit though. Now obviously this would normally be the halfway point of the reduction to 10 rounds for season 17, so normally at this point we'd be all lounging around doing really not a lot, but because of the way the Group A1s and the modern touring cars with the Clios work, obviously this bigger circuit needs a little bit of extra time, so a little bit of a jig of the calendar, and here we are. And I can't look who's joined.
Yep.
AMH and Miraxa. Between them, 6 Race of Winners titles. Boyraxa 4 to his name, all in a row. H2 to his name, again, back to back. And I know from experience, AMH is stupidly quick around here.
Well, we shouldn't have invited him, should we? No, in all seriousness, with it being, it's the 150th race of the Group A1s, and who better to give us a demonstration of how it's done, than Benji, who knows Boyraxa. He's a phenomenally fast driver. He's won round here in the Group A1s before, in a wet race in the Sierra Cosworth. And AMH, who, known as Andrew, a wonderfully gifted driver who's won the TCCs last season, he won the Clio last season. Like you said, Geordie's won 2 Race of Winners titles. He's a great driver, and it's his debut. What a time to make your debut on a celebration, so I'm curious to see how he gets on.
Yeah, the M1 Pro car, let's have a quick talk about that. I'm going to go find some stats to talk about, because there really is not a lot else.
well, whilst you're doing that, I mean, these are from memory, effectively, because I'm currently on my outlap, and people can probably hear the gear shifter going on my racing wheel that I've got. Adam Morris, that's RDF Adam Morris, is somewhere on circuit. I'm not sure whereabouts he is at the moment. He is the most successful driver in the Group A1s. He's had 3 race wins in this car. And I believe out of all the drivers participating tonight, he's the only one who's actually won in it. I don't think there's anyone else who has. Four Fish has won in a Mercedes. Les has won in an Audi twice. Ooh, Tim's gone for a bit of a wander in front of me. So Adam really has the form going into tonight's race in terms of the statistics anyway.
Yeah, it's should be interesting. I'll see. Let's see if we can find those stats quickly. Tim obviously going off on that quite a fast left-hander over the crest there. It's going to see probably a lot of people doing that. Here we are, the stats of the BMW M1 Pro car. This particular version, 1981. It's got 485 brake horsepower and is rear-wheel drive. It's 0 to 60 times 4.3 seconds. It weighs 2,248 pounds, so by no means a light car for racing in reality. Top speed of 207, which we probably won't reach because of the default setups on the game. But the most important thing, Jack, is it's got a pop-up headlights as Tim goes into the end of the barrier.
Yeah, I'm currently displaying those pop-up headlights, Jordan. This is the best car, in my opinion, in the game. I've said it already, but pop-up headlights are, to me, the coolest thing on a car. It's just amazing. Shame we don't really have them anymore, but you know, what do I know about style?
I think F1 should have them in the nose cones and make them do night races.
I think no. I don't think it. I think it works on a number of cars, but not F1.
Oh, it could look like a cyclops coming down the road at you. As we carry on, so let's have a quick look at the drivers. Bruce Lee Harding saying, "Come on, AMH" in the stream chat.
Cheers.
Jack, as ever, getting all the support he needs. So let's have a look at the quick drivers. We haven't really run through them yet. AMH obviously making his debut, which is a surprising one, but not, because I know he does struggle to make 8:30 lobbies. Obviously managing to make this one, which is good to see. Boyrax of 14 is also here. We know how quick he can be. Bruce Lee Harding laughing at Jack, I think's response to that. Cam123 Deers is also here, our league leader. Bob Mark 1 is here with Tim, the man who sent this car to space at historic Spa. Traumatic Dave, weirdly enough, he's not in the correct livery that he was when he done that, which is a shame, which means probably no space travel for him. Traumatic Dave, Four Fish, Peter Dar Jamesy, The Les, RDF1 Adam Morris. As Jack says, good form round here. D Whitehouse 7, Shallow Stalker, Wavies Johnny, Rally Matt is back for yet another round. He's been a quiet one, but a very solid driver throughout the season so far, as we're at the halfway point. As Matt.
He's done well. He got that podium at Silverstone, didn't he, in third place? That was a really good drive from him. So he's clearly got the ability. I know you've said before about him, Jordan, that you know he raced mainly on GT Sport and dirt.
Mainly dirt, not even GT
mainly
Sport.
Dirt, yeah.
Mainly dirt,
so he's
yeah.
making his transition onto you know, effectively proper circuit racing. Now, I don't mean proper in terms of proper racing, because rallying's amazing, but more sort of proper circuit-based racing. And I think his transition's going really well for it. He's had a solid season so far, but not, you know, having a podium.
I think he's been unlucky. I mean, he had a DC disconnect last time out at Hockenheim, and I know he's obviously had to miss a round, so I think his position in the table probably not really where it should be. But interesting fact about Rally Matt, he does actually rally in real life. He rallies in a 1400 on the gravel, on the forest scene of rallying in the UK. So just an interesting little fact to throw in.
Yeah, definitely, for certain. It's going to be interesting tonight. I couldn't tell you who's going to win. I know we've got two. You know, I wouldn't say Boyrax is a newcomer, because he's not. He's obviously driven in the series before. He's not done many races as Boyrax, but We know how quick he is. We know what AMH is like, and they're just two new variables thrown into the mix, and it's going to be really difficult to pick out a potential winner.
Yeah, without a doubt. Right, let's find someone to go on board with. I'm
well,
sure.
Funnily enough, Jordan, I'm going down the main straight.
That's what I was looking at, to be fair, Jack.
Well, I'm happy to. I'm happy to stay. I'm happy to stay while I do this lap.
I won't get you to. I won't let you talk because you probably need to focus that more on the racing. I know you're going to hear me probably, but
That'll be fine.
Probably less distracting. But as we can see, then we're on board with Jack. It is favourite car around one of probably your favourite tracks. So we cross the line and we head into the Yokohama S. Obviously, this variant does not use the arena section. We skip that because what's the point of it? So hit the brakes around the 100 mark in this car, all the way down the gears, second gear to into first for the second part. I'd probably gone first for the first part, but possibly not for the camber. Then I don't actually have all the corner names on here because the map's too big, but into this next left-hander, into third, just let it roll through there, and then you head into the forward curve, just down to seconds, and it's a really patient corner. You've got to be patient with the throttle, otherwise you will understeer. Down to the Dunlop Care, again, into third, into second. Can take it in either gear. It's an interesting line and rejoin from that BMW M1 Pro car, but just about gets it out the way. Up to the Schumacher S. Is it flat? No, it's not. It is a lift through here. I know in some cars you can take that flat. All the way to the next left-hander, braking just for the Astro. Probably not going on the Astro as Jack's done there, but it's a very good save. Wallsteiner curve. Again, another one of these corners you've got to be really patient on for the exit. Up to the flick left, flick right, sorry, that is flats. The lights go up for Jack. And into the chicane. Now this chicane is slightly shallower than the usual one, but by no means any less difficult. Third gear, just let it roll through, and then we enter the main circuit of the Nordschleife. Up over the crest, keep it in second, tuck it in lovely in, bring throttle in gently because of the bumps. And it should be flat right as we go down. Possible lift? No, it is flat in the BMW M1 Pro car as it tightens up through the left. And this really, I say complex, it's difficult in some respects. Third gear, you go left, right, then it goes through another S section. And again, you're just flicking between the cambers of the corners, just trying to keep the rhythm going. And there's one final S bend before you head up the straight. So you over the bridge, it's going to be flat right, and then we head up to the famous Flugplatz. The car will, if you're flat, come off the deck. There we go. Tap of the brakes to go in fourth gear to make the car turn in, make sure it does what you want it to. And then out of there, and it's again a really fast section. A couple of flat left-handers. Then you come up over the crest of this one, and there's a left-hander where you're probably going to be lifting for it slightly. Is it going to be... Yeah, there we go, because the car again does get air. Up into Arenberg. Long hairpin right, second gear, again, just let it coast. Down to Fuchsruhe, I think that's called. Flat left, flat right, flat left, down through the dip, again, another set of flat corners. You've got to be careful though, this last bit. If it was flat, this corner would be flat. But you've got to come down to fourth to keep it in the apex. Down to 30 to hit the right. Oh, and Jack's just clipped the grass. I don't know if he's got away with that one for time.
Yeah, I have.
Second gear for the chicane. And out you
the
go.
curb on the inside, that's what it was. It just pulled me in slightly.
Up towards Metzgersfeld. Again, fourth gear left-hander. Down to third. Again, be careful of the camera and the curbing through there. Over the crest, into second for the hairpin right. At Kallenhard, I believe that is. Then this really fast flick left-right chicane. Half throttle to make the car do what you need it to. Then you're going to be down to third as this ever-tightening right-hander, which opens on the exit. A third gear right-hander into a first gear. Normally second for the BMW M1 Pro car. It was first gear for the GTEs the other week. Out of there. Flick right. Down one gear as you go through the left-hander. Up the hill. Just keep it in third. Touch a brake to make it turn in. Use the camber. And deck the throttle as soon as you've got the purchase. We'll come up towards Bergwerk, so flick left, and it's a really awkward corner. You've got to come down a couple of gears because it tightens mid-corner, and if you're not careful you will run wide and hit the wall on the outside. Then we head to the Kesselken section, again a series of flat left-handers to begin with. The steering wheel doesn't move from that position pretty much all the way through until you get to the end through this next left-hander. Then you go into a series of rights. Again, flat out. So is there no fifth gear in this car?
There is. But there's a reason why.
Probably because it actually doesn't do a lot. Anyway, through that fourth, pretty much flat. You've got to be careful again because of the crest on that right-hander. Into the hairpin right as we head up towards the legendary carousel. What line is Jack going to take? You can take two lines really. You can take the top shelf or you can keep it in the camber. Either works. Jack takes it to the camber. But again, you've got to keep it in that groove. If you don't, you'll spin out. Very nicely done by Jack through that. Flat right out. You got this really fast left-hander. I can't remember if it is flat in the M1 Dual. Not quite. It's a little confidence lift. Tap the brakes. Bit margin on the curb for Jack in third gear as you go through there. Got to be careful because the car can, on the right-hander, again, become light and go into the barriers. Now this is probably my favourite section of the circuit. Third gear, flick it right, flick it left, flick it right again, down the hill and again up the hill, staying in third gear all the way, touch a brake, flicking into the right, up over the crest, flick it left. It's such a nice rhythm section this. Then you hit the brakes, staying in third to keep the traction on the exit. Up to, this is what I think, yeah, this is YouTube bend. Again, third gear, pretty nice. It's down to second for the next bit. This is a slightly tighter left-hander and flat over the crest. Now you've got to be careful down through this section. This is all flat, but you'll get air here. And then touch a brake down to third. Then back to the throttle as early as possible because the next section is pretty flat apart from this next left-hander. It's over the crest and you've got to back off just a little bit to make the car turn in. Again, the front end lifts up and you do go wide. Jack's had a big moment in. That is, you're not going to get away with that one.
Yeah, it's invalidated it.
Luckily, you've probably got enough time to go around one more.
Les has done a phenomenal lap, by the way. That's what caught me off guard. I just saw it pop up in the corner.
Yes, an 842.5 from the Les. Into Klein's Carousel, otherwise known as the Mini Carousel. For obvious reasons, very, very similar to the Carousel, but very short. Into Galgenkopf. Should be probably flat after the initial turn in. Oh no, it's just a slight lift because of the crest on it. And I'm sure Jack's going to mute me down the straight so we can concentrate.
Yeah, I'll be disappearing. I'm in an awkward position really because I've got day 13 in front of me and then 4th, 5th, 16 behind, so I can't really back off.
I'll bid you farewell, Jack, and
thank you.
Thank you for joining me, as it's obviously quite a long qualifying session here for Nordschleife.
Yeah. Enjoy, everyone.
This is a dotting hole, straight. Then you flick it left as we then head towards Tiergarten. Flat left, flat right. Now you hit the brakes. Keep the car steady. Down to second place. Flick right. Oh, Jack's got to be careful. Flick left in second. Go as far to the left as you can because there's less of a crest and less of a bump. And that's a lap of Nurburgring Nordschleife. Unfortunately, Jack not getting a time in that one because of hitting the wall and having an invalidated lap. Possibly because of us riding on board with him. That's not AMH in the war. Who was that in the war? I'm intrigued. Wasn't Dave? It was Shadowstalker in the war, but AMH is on his way. This is Boy Rexa. Bob Mark 1 coming to the end of his lap time now. Most of these guys will get an extra lap. So they'll get a second bite of the cherry, as it were. Some of the other drivers have decided they don't want to do another lap, probably because they're happy with their current times. Bob Mark 1 comes across the line. His lap time was invalidated. Boyerax are just going towards Tiergarten now. A pace up through Tiergarten is insane with the BMW M1 Pro car, but the four-time row winner. Again, he'll get another lap if he has messed this first one up. He hasn't, he puts an 8:41.2. That is an absolute stellar time from Boyeraxa 14. And there's nothing he can do about it because he's in the pits, and that is the end of Les' qualifying session. Bob Mark 1 has unfortunately disconnected, which is a shame, although he's got 25 seconds if he can actually get back in time, which would be very impressive. So we're going to be down to 15. AMH. We know he's quick. How quick is he? Oh, he's only done an 8:39.0. I don't think he needs to do another lap. He's 2.2 clear of Boyeraxi. I think he'll probably do one more to try and improve on that. But that is some insane pace. Here comes Cam123 Diz. He's not set a time. Oh, he is not set a time at all. He will be starting at the back. Oh, that's Shadowstalker. Sorry, Shadowstalker. I'm looking at the wrong person. I think Tim's got a lap in. I don't know if this might be the first time ever in the Group A1 Tim's actually got a lap in at Nordschleife. That's a great effort. 9:37, and he's not last. He's in front of Shadowstalker. Cam123 Diz will be the first man next to really finish qualifying. He's at the top end of the circuit here. Jack's already gone past Fluplatz. There's Adam Morris on his final attempt. So we're estimating about another probably 9 to 10 minutes here of qualifying action still to come. Obviously Adam Morris, the last man who will finish qualifying. But AMH, it's amazing. AMH thinks he needs to go again, but I guess with Adam Morris and Cam123 Diz, I guess anything's possible. But that 8:39, seemingly very good indeed. There's Big Bloody B. It's up in fourth. It's a good time. It's 8:52. Rally Matt in the number 22 machine is currently in 6th. Fullfish currently 5th, but in the pits. Web user Johnny, 9:03 for him. The key thing about this race, when we get... Oh, AMH has now decided that he does not need to go again. He's hit a wall and invalidated his current lap time. So AMH's pole is still up for grabs if Boyeraxa or Cam or Adam Morris, for that matter, or even Jack. Let's not discount the host.
No.
I believe that was Jack. Unfortunately, hitting the wall.
Damn it!
Cam still going around the circuit. As always, he'll be the first man across the line. Now that qualifying is completed. Oh, he's gone a little wide. I think he'll get away with it. At the moment, as long as this lap counts for Cam, it's a bit wide though through the mini carousel. That's not going to help his time as he now heads towards the back straight. Nice camera shot from the helicopter there of Cam. Comes over the crest.
Hit the ball.
I gathered we could still hear you.
Wasn't happy.
No, right. I think we kind of got that, unfortunately. But but at the end of the day, it's all about keeping on the road in the race. Points don't come. Well, a point does come in qualifying, but Cam comes across the line. It's going to be fourth for Cam. 11.3 off the pace of AMH. A lot of drivers now going back to the pits after doing what Jack's unfortunately done and probably hitting the wall.
And swearing profusely.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we caught all that as well. But it's the race is all about staying on the track, and this is the big thing with Nordschleife. As long as you keep on the track, you'll get a decent result. And Johnny coming up to the line. Ultimately, as well, the GP loop provides a nice section to try and get through the slower traffic to put it in a kind way.
It was a decent time that from Johnny. He's got himself under the 9 minutes.
Yeah, 8:59.2. We've got two more people still to come through.
Boyraxer and Adam.
Boyraxer and Adam Morris. Now, AMH, an 8:39.0 is just plain ridiculous. But if anyone's going to beat it, I'd say Boyraxer is definitely the one to try and do that. Out of the two remaining on the circuit.
I don't know, I wouldn't rule Adam out. And he's been looking for a good result this season. He got, his first podium of the season last time out at Hockenheim. Boyrax is going 7/10 quicker. He's been, I don't know if you were watching that then, George, but he was right on the limit.
Yeah. Just coming up towards the mini carousel. Cam went wide on this corner as well on his lap. Bit of airtime from Boyrax as he goes over the little mini carousel part.
Was Cam intentionally wide through there?
No, he ended up on the grass.
Ah.
So he was lucky really not to belt the barrier, in all fairness.
I was going to say, there's a lot more time to come from Cam.
But here we go, Boyrax, it's the longest qualifying session quite possibly of NXTGEN tonight. I mean, normally normally at this point we'd be setting up the modern touring cars and getting prepped for that.
We'd definitely be in the closing stages of the Group A1s.
Yeah. Bob Mark 1 has rejoined, unfortunately, all too late, which is a shame for Bob. He really had no chance. He disconnected at 3 minutes 30 to go. Boyraxer then, he's going to come across the line. What can he do? Can he get in front of AMH?
Definitely quicker.
Not quick enough. He's still 1.38 down. Meanwhile, Adam Morris just coming through the final corner onto the back straight. before you head to the final section. I do like the camera shot from the helicopter down this straight. It is cool. The final man to set the time in a qualifying that's been going on for about half an hour. And if you think that's long, the race is even longer.
It is.
It's a 5-lap race, and these boys have only done 3. And that 3 includes an outlap. Oh, that wasn't the best entry into the penultimate corner. He's got away with it as Adam. They're not. I tell you, people aren't staying quite as left as I thought they would over that little crest, but he crossed the line. We'll find out when the results come up, and it is AMH who takes pole position on his debut.
Jack will driver to do it.
Yeah, but if he wins, would he be the second driver to take a win on debut?
7th.
The 7th, there we go. So he's the third man to take pole position on debut. I think, who are the other two? Did Bruce do it?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, I thought he did, yeah.
And then Mix did it earlier on this season.
Ah, yes. Yeah. So AMH joins an elite group to take pole on his debut. Boyarak lines up alongside. Row 2 is the Les, a fantastic time by him, 3.6 off the pace. He's joined by Adam. Row 3 is Cam and Big Bloody B. Row 4, Four Fish, Rally Matt. Row 5, Johnny and Jamesy. Row 6, Traumatic Dave. That's a good effort from Dave. 11th place.
That is good.
12 for Tim. Shadowstalker heads up row 7 and DYL7 alongside No Time. And Jack is your last man. Jack, I'm sure you probably want to leave the party at this point to concentrate. I'll give you a bit of time to do that.
If it goes all right.
Good luck, mate, and maybe we'll catch you after if you rejoin.
Hey, the 150th race, here we go.
Yep. The Paramax Group A1 League. Jack has now left the building. And we are going to get this underway. I'm sure because, we're actually straight in this time. We sink in. For the 150th time, we have the 3 red lights. We are green at Nurburgring Nordschleife. It's a great start from Boyarak, who immediately takes the lead initially. We've got away cleanly off the line, which is good because it's quite a tight grid. AMH, though, the second phase, he's really got into that and retaken the lead. And Boyarak has issues as Big Bloody B down the inside, bit of a tap. And RDF1 Adam Morris has taken absolute advantage of that. He's up into second place. Have we got through the first 2 corners cleanly? We're about to go 3 wide. That is Jack, Traumatic Dave, and Day Whitehouse. They do back out. Tim and Shadowstalker now at the back of the pack. They head down towards the Dunlop Care for the first time of 5. This is going to be about a 40-minute race, just over. Through the Dunlop Care. Into the Schumacher S they go. There's line astern. These 3 still having a bit of a battle. This is for 11th place right now. Jack being a little bit more patient. Obviously starting at the back. Here comes D. Whitehouse down the inside. Traumatic Dave, no way he can stop that, although he's going to try a switch back. Through Warsteiner curve, and Traumatic Dave can't do anything about it, and he's now going to come under attack from Jack as they head up towards chicane just before the Nordschleife section. Adam Morris has lost the place to Boyarak. Cam 123 Diz on Adam's tail. He's gone a bit wider, as has Big Bloody B. That is Tim in the background. He has gone off at the chicane. A line astern though, still as we head through into the Nordschleife. This is where it's gonna kick off. said than done. It's a difficult place to overtake. You've got to be very, very patient. Looking at the times, web user Johnny has 4 fish behind right now. The battle for 8th. Randy Matt's currently in 7th, and he's not too far behind the Les. Les has actually gone down to 6th off the starting grid. Over Flugplatz, what a shot this is. Jack has got past Traumatic Dave as well. In the meantime, DY House 7 on the back of PZR Jamesy. This to get into the top 10. So we head up towards the flat, the fast left-hander over crest. Ooh, D Whitehouse actually brakes. And watch from Jack. Oh, D Whitehouse wide at the chicane. PZR Jamesy, I wonder if there was a bit of a tap into the hairpin, but Jack benefits and he's up into 11th. Down the hill. Jack sets this up. This is Jamesy. Little gets away with it. I thought he was going to touch the grass, and he is now on the grass. So that corner is a potential overtaking spot. Jack gets a good run though. Goes alongside. Good stuff from Jamesy, giving him the room. And yep, Jack goes through into the top 10. He's now got 2.5 seconds to make up on 4 fish. Boyrax though, this top 4 actually. The top 4 aren't leaving each other alone, but Big Bloody B is about to get involved in this as well. And Cam is looking all over the back of Adam Morris. We have now got a 6-car train for the lead. And the more these guys fight, the quicker that Rally Matt might catch up to them and make this a 7-car train. It's a 7-carriage BMW M1 Pro car train. And what a sight this is. Oh, that looks a bit wide from the Les. He's got away with it. And Adam Morris, I don't know whether he was looking to go past Boyrax or defend from Cam behind. But Big Bloody B, the surprise, I'm not going to lie, he's the surprise person in this leading group right now. As Boyraxa looks to really annoy AMH here. It's like hearing NASCAR, that is. They keep going. All of them. This is some fantastic racing, really. Meanwhile, Johnny and Fourfish are still having an... Oh, Fourfish is round! Jack now through to 9th. Fourfish is going to have a difficult time here. He's down to 12th. Oh, this is not a position you want to be in. Meanwhile, there is movement because Big Bloody B is up into 3rd. It looked like Cam and Adam had a bit of an incident together. Cam down to 6th. Oh, and Big Bloody B's lost the rear end into the barrier. And up into 3rd. And about 20 seconds later, he's down to 6th. And look who's joining the party. Meanwhile, up at the front, Boyraxa 14. Still hassling AMH for the lead. Jack now has, well, less than a second to get to Johnny. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Meanwhile, Lelace is now leading a train of 3 who need to work together to try and catch back up to the leading pack. Adam Morris kind of in the middle. Still, he'll get a slipstream. He's in that sort of zone. There's Johnny. There is Jack. Now, if Johnny is wise about this, there isn't much point in holding Jack up here. He'll only cost himself time. And Jack might well be able to help him get up to the back of Rally Matt, who is not that far away from the leading pack now. In fact, he is now on, where he's about 2 seconds behind Big Bloody B, who is in 6th. And it looks like the Les has managed to get away from Cam and is starting to chase down Adam as they enter the mini carousel. And Jack has now got through past Johnny. I think Johnny, it looks like Johnny's had a bit of an accident somewhere. So Jack up to 8th place. This is good movements by him. He is already 8.3 down on the leaders, but that hasn't changed in quite a long time. So he definitely has the pace as we head down the straight. Now this is welcome to Slipstream Central. 168, yeah, it's about 7 miles an hour. Here comes Boyraxer and the Les. And Adam Morris on AMH as well for good measure. So AMH in the space of a straight is down to 4th, and Adam Morris now takes the lead of this race as they enter the final section of the circuit. The Les up into 2nd place. Oh, and Adam's gone wide. The Les looking to go alongside. He's on the bumpier side, onto the main straight. And here comes AMH and Boyrax, almost for 3 wide behind the leader. The Les hovering on that inside. He knows he's going to have it for turn 1. AMH. Everyone slows up. He's got the inside for turn 2. Can't quite make it work. But he's got good traction. And up towards turn 3. He's going to have a look around the outside. Bit of a side tap between the two. But it's just a bit of a door rub. Enough room left. Oh, and the Les got caught on the curb. He's still there, but I think AMH, I'm afraid, will go into the lead as we head into the Dunlop Care for the 2nd time. Down the inside. Oh, again, bit of rubbing on the exit. They're going to go into the Schumacher S side by side. This is not what you need. The Les will retain 2nd place for now. It's cost him half a second to AMH already. Once AMH gets out of that slipstream, he will be gone. Almost assure you of that one. Jack has actually gained time. He's only 6.8 off the lead because these lot have been fighting. He's got past Jack. He is 3.5 away from Cam, who's in 6th place. But we're kind of keeping an eye on this leading quartet because they are having a really good scrap as they head into the Nordschleife section. It's almost weird seeing the cars go to the right hand side of that, the entry to the hairpin. It's normally on the GP loop you enter on that right hand side. But we head into the Nordschleife and the Les is on the back of AMH yet again. I don't know what's happened to Shadowstalker. We've got a yellow flag on the back straightaway. He is back going. Oh, he's dropping throttle. He has retired from this race. Our first retirement of the night. Shadowstalker DBS. It looks like he's stopped on the straight. I wonder if he's got any like equipment issues there. Maybe with his pedals or something. Over Flugplatz. What? I can't get enough of this. Will I? Here comes James. He just one more for the photogenic things. Beautiful done. But AMH. Still under attack from the Les. And Jack is closing in because these lot are fighting. They really aren't helping each other, and to be honest, it's great viewing that they aren't. None of them are helping each other try and escape. They are literally going at it hammer and tong. And Les a little bit wide, he's going to get away with it. just a little flicker of the grass there. And it can be game over. Big Bloody B and Cam are starting to reel these guys in. Jack's only 5.6 behind. This would be incredible if Jack can catch up to the leading pack from the back of the grid. I think Cam and Big Bloody B so far have just called a truce. As Big Bloody B on the grass. Gets away with it though. Here in the 150th race of the Power Max Group A1s. We're on lap 2 of 5, that's right. We've been going for about 12 to 15 minutes, so we're not even done lap 2, and that's a big crash. Well, I say big, it's a big moment, that's for sure. Off the curb, and Jack up into 6th. Oh dear, that's not really gone well for Big Bloody B. He's stamped on the throttle. He needs to bring the throttle in a lot smoother than that. That is what most people in motorsport call the red mist. You've made a mistake, you're angry with yourself, and he's kind of been a little bit silly decking the throttle. I think Bruce Lee in the chat describing that, unfortunately, perfectly, with three monkeys hiding their eyes. Bit of red mist descent there, and it's cost him really. That should have only cost him one place, the Jack, but because he stamped on the throttle rather than being just a touch more sensible and bringing the throttle in gently, he's lost 2 instead. Jack 6 seconds behind this leading, well, might as well call it a 5-some now, aren't we? I don't know what the fancy word is for a group of 5. But AMH is leading it. Jack is forever really closing in on these guys. He's got some really strong pace. There he is in the background. He can see the leaders through the carousel. The question is, who do you think is going to win this race? Because as we've seen at the end of the lap, the slipstream is very powerful. And if you don't get the right exit of the final corner, you can lose your lead again. Bruce Lee saying Matt is catching up too. Yep, he's 8.6 away from the leader. He's about 4.5 from Jack. But again, if Jack catches up to this 5-way battle, and again they start battling, Matt will gradually catch on to the back of them. And even though three more laps after this one sounds not very much, that's still a good 27 minutes of racing to go. Oh, that was an interesting deviation off the jump from the Les. I'm going to rewatch that back on my stream. Back end kicks over the jump. The car stayed pretty stable, but he's into the wall. So he's now 6/10 behind AMH, but again, that means nothing when you've got a slipstream in these things. Cam is... He's struggling to keep on the back of these guys in reality. He's not quite really caught up to them. Jack losing time. Again, that could just be because he hasn't got any slipstream at the moment. Les wide again. Here comes Boyrax. He's going to pull alongside. Out of the mini carousel. Can't quite do it, so it's going to be onto the back straight. 1 second is the gap. And this is not what you need. You can't have AMH escaping to the point where a slipstream will not help. 6.1 now for Jack. Running Matt's 12 seconds now from AMH. And this is where Jack's going to struggle right now. Let's go on board here. with Adam, and you see what I mean. AMH has, well, he's been caught but not overtaken as we head into the final section. Oh, that's AMH in the wall. AMH has gone into the wall. He's behind Jack now. The number 7 car, I wonder if he clipped the curb. We were on board with Adam Morris at the time. I wonder if he clipped the curb too much and he sent the car around. That has gifted the lead to the Les. And Adam Morris defending or attacking Boyraxa. Either way, he's not in second, he's now in third. If he's not careful, Cam will take third away. Cam now actually caught up to the leading pack again. It looks like a rare mistake from AMH into the final section of the course. That's just blowing this thing wide open between now 4 cars. Just having a look at the timings. Let's see if we can view anyone else. There's Jamesy. He's followed by Johnny. These guys not too far, and just behind Fish, who had that spin earlier. D Whitehouse, probably not his favourite circuit around here. He's down in 12th. There's Traumatic Dave. He's in 13th, and Tim, as the trooper that he is, still going. Meanwhile, the Les. Now, I know we want to have Les drive. He will be very defensive against Boyraxa if he has to be, which, at this stage of the race, is a positive thing for Jack and AMH. AMH can still get back in this. He may well be 8.1 down, but again, if Les starts defending really hard, it will slow the whole pack up. As they enter the Nordschleife for the 3rd time. You head through the S's. Up over the crest. And they flick it left down towards the hairpin right. Jack again still gradually closing in. The Les obviously down to 3rd. Boyraxa in the lead from Adam Morris. Yes, Quartet as they go up over the crest left. Les a little bit wide. He's got to be careful. Oh, and he's got, yes, I was wondering where Cam was. He was right on the tail of Les through there. And in fact, they're going to be side by side pretty much. See Jack in the background, side by side between 3rd and 4th. This is not going to be helpful for either of them. And Les is off. Very well controlled on the re-entry. But Les needs to calm down here. He needs to work with Cam. They've already lost too much time to Boyraxa and Adam Morris as Cam goes into the wall. These two now 3 seconds away from the lead. Moiraxa still leading the way. The Les is back past Cam. Jack is catching them up, but 3 seconds. They've really not helped themselves in this case, because Moiraxa and Adam Morris, these two, along with AMH, I know go into their own private party, and these two will now be discussing the objective of running away. You will not see these two fight until lap 5. That is almost guaranteed. Unless we make a mistake, these two positions I can almost guarantee will not swap until the straight, and even then it will only be because of the slipstream and to not hold each other up. AMH is on his way though, as is Jack. Jack hovering in the 4.1. That is Adam Morris. Adam Morris is spun at the carousel, which has left Moiraxa 3.6 up the road. So this has really just gone interesting. Jack is ahead of Cam. AMH has managed to catch them up. And meanwhile, the gap is now 4.2. It's gone crazy. Jack up into 4th, and bear in mind he started 15th and last. He's currently 4th. Cam's run wide. This is going to give opportunity to AMH. Oh, see the car jump around for AMH there. Cam will come under a little bit of pressure here. This is where Moiraxa is going to struggle, because he now has no slipstream and no push. He is currently at 153. Les is already there. Moiraxa is at a later stage of the straight, and Les is faster at these points. So how much can Les take out? 7 tenths so far. There's 8 tenths. There's a second as they enter the final section. Let's do it on the way out, because that'll be key. On the line. And I'm running a little bit wide. And just hear Moiraxa going over the bumps. Yeah, so 1.5 seconds. Moiraxa doesn't have a slipstream. 1.5 seconds is the time deficit. Jack now has AMH on his tail. So AMH probably passing Cam on the straight. The question is, will Jack really fight AMH? He might do, but he's still got 2 laps left. And you can use AMH as a really useful tool to try and catch up to the others. And again, we're seeing this thing, Les is defending too hard. He's not allowing the race to progress, and it's costing them time. Flashlight to man and say, let's go, let's get on with it. We've got 2.8 seconds to get. We pulled 1.5 on a straight. AMH and Jack side by side. Anyway, she's going to get overtaken by Cam just after the Schumacher S, these lot need to work together. They're 3 seconds off third. And again, if these lot work together, they'll catch up. DMH heads through behind Cam at the moment. Jack 5.8 off the lead. He was down to 4 and a touch. The Les is now within 1.5. Adam just dropped off a little bit. Adam Morris back on the tail of Les, and as naturally they're now 1.5 behind Boyrax. That is the magic number, shall we say. Let's have a quick look at timings, see who's got the fastest lap. 1:8:43.1 from Boyrax, so no one any lower than that. Obviously, for obvious reasons around Nurburgring Nordschleife, we do not have the track limits on. Obviously, if you make a mistake, it'll ping you for it, even though you lose probably more time than it's worth. Cam doing a nice job of keeping AMH behind at the moment. This will be frustrating AMH, because AMH knows he's got the pace to start catching the guys ahead. Let's have a look. Is anyone else having a battle on track? And the answer is no, pretty much. That's where we did Johnny. Fourfish has overtaken him since we last saw him. Probably a long time ago. There's D Whitehouse 7 in 12th. Meanwhile, back to where the action really is. On board with AMH on his bumper. Little bit of a slide from Cam. Open the door. AMH doesn't need a second invitation for that one. Into the top 5. Through the crest, AMH now in pursuit of Jack. Meanwhile, the Les is now just 4 tenths behind our leader. There's just catching up to the back of Boyrax. Can he actually do anything else about it? That's That's key. He will Les be patient? And if Les is not patient, again, this will fall into the hands of Jack and AMH, who really, as much as they like to fight each other on the track and be ahead of one another, they just need to put that aside and work together as a team. They're both quick enough to catch up to the top three here. There they are. You can see them in the background. If these two work together, they will get on the tail of the 3 cars ahead. And especially because Les will overtake Boyraxer into the final section. And he will defend hard. Once you do the quicker stuff, that gap opens up a bit. But once it's a massive concertina effect around Nordschleife. It always is. So it helps you towards the final section before the back straight into the mini carousel. Onto the back straight then. 0.6 is the gap between Les and Boyraxer. So that should close pretty quickly here. MH already going past Jack in the background. Those two should be working together down this straight. Here comes the Les. He's going to go draw alongside onto the right hand side. Nothing Boyraxer can do, and here comes Adam Morris. He's going to try and take the pair of them as they go through the flick left. Adam Morris on the inside. Well, it's on the outside for the inside, for the outside for the inside. He's already moved on though into the final section. And Jack has re-overtaken AMH. So it looks like those two really are actually working together. But all this top 3. Nevertheless, finds himself in exactly the same position as he did in second place. AMH is going to push hard for this victory. Trying to get a better line. It's not quite worked out for him. 3.8, the gap back to Jack. And the Les overtaken by Boyraxer through the Ford curve. Not ideally what Les wants, but the question, I think the big question is, you don't want to be leading going into onto the back straight. But by the looks of what we've seen throughout the race, it looks like third, if you're the last in line, that's where you need to be. Because you get this massive slipstream effect. And Jack is defending from AMH as they go into the left-hander. Number 3 machine has the number 7 cooped up behind him. Although AMH does have a look into the Warsteiner curve, but it's not meant to be. Yeah, it looks like if you're in a group, you want to be the last person in that group onto that back straight. Because the run you get comes quickly, but late enough that it's hard for anyone else to get back past you before that final section. Yeah, Jack and AMH, 8:45.0 for Boyraxer, compared to the 8:42.7 for Jack. But Adam Morris, an 8:40.8, so in theory, Adam's pulled 2 seconds on them, but Boyraxer's lost 3. And the gap is still 4.6 to Jack at the moment. As they go through the S sections for heading towards Flugplatz. Here we go then, for the final time over Flugplatz. So if anyone is watching, I think the three main candidates is Adam Morris, Boyraxa and the Les. Take your pick now. If Jack or AMH win this, it'll be an astounding drive from both of them. Over the crest. Adam Morris still in the lead of this race. Is that where he wants to become the end? AMH is back past Jack, and he's now got 7/10 to him. I mean, Jack has been a phenomenal drive. I'd almost have to say it's probably the drive of the race at the moment. If he sticks it in 5th, up 10 positions from the back of the grid, which means he really hampered from the start of this race. But even more crucially, he's going to be ahead of Cam. The downside, he's going to be behind Adam, which isn't too much of a problem. It's the Les. Now, the 3 points behind Jack. Jack was 2 behind Cam. 4-ish was a further 9 behind the Les, with Adam Morris a further 6. So Adam Morris really isn't the issue here for Jack. And effectively, if Boyraxa and AMH these really weird tables near the end where the positions are different and the points are different. Yeah, I did just hear a bit of breaking up. I think it's fine now. Probably because I don't normally commentate for over an hour. Doesn't really want to do it. Bob Mark 1 has disconnected, so he's obviously either watching the race from spectator mode. Still watching Adam Morris. Interesting development. The Les is behind AMH. Don't know what's happened there, but Jack now has a potential to keep the lead of the regain the lead of this championship. He is now right on the Les. I'm hoping my mic's fine now. I think it's just a little bit of a glitch, shall we say. And yes, I think I know what's happening here. Tim and D. Whitehouse have both stopped near the end of the track. They've decided they don't want to do a 5th lap of this racetrack. They're going to go a lap down. They've done enough to score the points that they're in. I think ultimately AMH has been released too late, so it is between Boyraxa now and Adam Morris. And this is all going to come down to the straight. I think at this stage of the race, it's going to be Adam Morris. Now, there's good reason for that. He might be in front. Oh, he has a bit of a twitch. I say twitch. I think the front end got light for Adam there and just drifted off wide. The reason I say Adam Morris at the moment is because with 2 cars, we've seen it before, that Boyraxa will go past, but because of the length of the straight and the slipstream strength of this circuit, Adam's got enough time to go back past. So for the final time in this, the 150th race of the Paramax Group A1s, we head down the back straight of Nordschleife. Adam even going to the grass to try and break the toe. I think Adam needs to embrace this now. He needs to get Boyraxa past now and use that slipstream. They're going to go side by side. Tuck in. He's still not able to tuck in. Here we go. If Adam can keep this alongside, he may still have this chance. He's going to keep it alongside. He's got to clip the grass a little bit. He's no longer alongside into the final section. Here we go, the final couple of corners. And it will be Boyraxa 14 who takes the 150th race of the Paramax Group A1s, followed by Adam Morris. AMH will come home in third. It's going to be a close race. I think it's going to be the Les who takes fourth away from Jack. Just about ignore those timings. That is wrong. Cam comes home in sixth. Big Bloody B on the final straight. We'll just see this. There goes Tim in 13th. He's actually beaten D. Whitehouse. D. Whitehouse has waited so long that he's lost the race to Tim, and he can't quite get the BMW pointing in the right direction again. He's now waiting because here comes Big Bloody B. Big Bloody B, a great result, 7th in the classifications. There's Randy Matt, he's just coming towards the end. There goes D. Whitehouse for 14th. Randy Matt, I think he'll be pleased with an 8th place. On a difficult circuit like this, I don't think he really had the pace to keep up with the front, but a very nice 8th place, good solid points for him, and it will elevate him up the table, which is nice to see because he does deserve better points than he's got so far. Full Fish will take 9th. Johnny will be in 10th. Again, solid points for Johnny. Probably on his weakest circuit of the calendar. PMR Jamesy. He will come home 11th. And he's actually gone into the wall. That's not ideal. All he had to do is just carefully bring it in. Luckily, Traumatic Dave's nowhere near to be able to capitalise on that mistake from PZR Jamesy in the number 16 car. And Traumatic Dave, he's not finished last yet again. He's kept on the lead lap, which is a fantastic effort. And it will be 12th. Look at that engine buzzing away down the straight as he hits the limiters. He's backed right off of this section. Just, he probably knows he's the last one to finish. He might be on TV. So just get through the last few corners. And it's a 12th place for Traumatic Dave. So the 150th ever Paramax Group A1 league race finishes. Obviously Group A1's loosely just basically all the iterations that this league has been through. It's going to be Boyraxa who takes the honours of the win from Adam Morris. I still think Adam Morris would have been better off giving up that position earlier on the straight. AMH third. Adam Jack is not in fourth. The Les is fourth. In Cam sixth with Big Bloody B seventh. Randy Matt eighth. Full Fish ninth. Waves of Johnny 10th. James E 11th. Dave 12th. 13th. D Whitehouse finishing 14th. And Shadowstalker unfortunately retired on the first lap. Possibly technical difficulties there for him. Not too sure. Bob couldn't start a line because of a disconnect in qualifying. A fantastic race. I think the start of that crazy. I mean, a 6-car train for the lead. Always a good one to watch. But for the Group A1s, it's a break. They get a break next week. So no Group A1 action next week. However, in 2 weeks' time for the Group A1s, we head to Brands Hatch Indy, where there's a full reverse grid. Obviously, Phil is excluded in that, but the championship table gets flipped on its head, and your starting lineup will be that, which should be an absolute cracking race around there, around Brands Hatch Indy. But next week we do have the return of the Power Maxed modern touring cars and the Power Max Clio Cup, from my point of view, as they head to Imola next week. So do join us for those ones. Again, that'll probably start on their normal times. That won't be starting any earlier, as far as I'm aware. I've not been alerted of that. So do tune in for that next week. But for myself and the guys here in the Group A1s, thank you to Power Max for sponsoring the league, and thank you guys too for watching tonight. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and do join me next week for some more racing. But for myself and everyone here, good night.